Dig in. Cause I already dug in.
What's the story time about to be about?
This story time is going to be about the time I went to jail and I spent 3 days to 3 nights. 3 nights, 3 nights, 4 days in jail. Was it 3 nights, 4 days? I don't know. So, this all started, this is probably a couple of years ago, but my pops, right? His name is Salim. Anyways, he was like, hey man, one day, out of the blue, he called me, he was like, what you doing? I was like, I ain't really doing too much today, what's going on? He was like, man, I need you to go to your grandma's house, or go to my house and your grandma's house to cut the grass. It's alright, it's cool. Let me get myself together, I'll be over there to cut the grass. So, I drove over there, and I don't know, was I talking to you? Well, I think I was talking to her. I was cutting the grass. Anyway, something happened. I was cutting it. She ended up coming over there some way.
Because I wanted to see you.
That was her little boo. That's her boo thing.
But she ended up coming over there to see me, right? And I was done cutting the grass, or I ran out of gas, or something was wrong with the lawnmower or something. And I told her, I was like, hey, look, I guess let me go down here and fill the gas up, and then I'm gonna go back to the house, finish cutting the grass. I said, follow me though, and don't let no cops get behind me. Because I think I had some warrants and shit like that, because I was driving my sister's car.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
I'm not gonna say my sister's name, but she's my older sister, and I know you know who you are, because you're the only older sister. Alright, so I got some tickets off hers. Anyways, I got warrants. Anyways, I was driving, had the music blasting. I got a tank top on. I got some red shorts, like basketball swim shorts or something like that, right? So we riding and stuff. We get to the stop sign. We get to the stop sign, and a cop pulled up right behind me. After I told Lexus not to let any cops get behind me. So I pull, I make my turn when the light turned green, and then he, boom, turn his lights on, sirens on. Pull me over. I was all right, cool. I wasn't checking because usually I get out of stuff like this all the time. So he pulled me over. I was acting like I had an attitude and stuff like that, like I was the boss, And he was like, hey, license registrations. I need to see your license registrations, Mr. Andrews. So I gave him everything, Went back to his car. And I was like, man, what you trying to pull me over, man? It's kind of like I'm black and this white dude pulling me over. So I was like, just pulling me over because I'm black and I got an Escalade. Come to find out, he comes back and he says, hey, look, you got a warrant and you're coming with me. I was like, damn. So he pulled me out the car, put me in the handcuffs. I see her over there. She pulled over where I was at. She over there crying and shit. And I was like, okay, it ain't shit I can do about it.
It's funny now, but it was sad then when it was happening.
But he got me, man, and that was the first time I ever rode in a cop car, and I was taken to jail for the warrants. So we took this ride to Montgomery or somewhere close over there in Studewood, because I was cutting grass in Studewood. I think it was 40th and Main. That's where my pops used to stay. But anyways, he got me, and I sat up in there and I did my fingerprints and my thumbprints. I sat up in a little holding cell for probably about like 2 or 3 hours. And then somebody else came and picked me back up and took me to I think it was downtown or the Harris or
Harris.
I don't know what jail it is. I guess it's the city jail, whatever. But I got up in there and it was the craziest thing. They had this little medical or med center up in there, niggas was go to just to get out the cell, because you want to be in the cell with them stinking ass niggas, right? But anyways, I get up in there and they put me up. And remember, I only got my tank top on and my red basketball shorts on. So when I get in the jail, everything is cold. It's cold. It's musty. It smells like balls. All of that. Stink. It smells like ass and all of that, right? They put me in the cell. Boom. I'm gonna tell you, if you do go, it is niggas in there that's prepared for it. They're trying to go to jail to sit those tickets and warrants out. But so I'm in there, and this black dude said, "Hey, young brother, you're gonna be out in no time. Just stay cool." See,
Talking about him.
they coming back for me. But anyways, he was like, "Man, you cool? Just chill." And it was this is one of the stories here. In the jail, I'm cold as shit because I only got a tank top with some basketball shorts on. It was this Mexican guy up in there. I don't know his name. It was a Mexican guy. He was in the same shit. He was in the same predicament. He had warrants and shit like that. For some reason, somebody told him, I guess he made a phone call or something, and they told him to don't do the arraignment, or if you go to the arraignment, say that you don't. He pleaded guilty to the charge of having warrants or some shit. I don't know what it was. But you stand in front of arraignment when you talk to the judge before you go to the judge. And he was like, "Yeah, man, I plead guilty to all of that, man. I'm going to just, sit my days out." Because he thought he was going to get out the next day. Come to find out, they put this nigga in a fucking overall suit. This nigga's picking up trash, trying to do his days. And they said, "Hey, man, you staying in here for 30 days, right?" And he was like, "No, they told me I'm going to get out tomorrow." I said, "No, nigga, you played guilty." And then he was like, "God damn, why didn't tell me that?" But one of the niggas was up in there, told him, he was like, "Man, nigga, you plead the filth and plead that you, that not guilty or some shit." That's what I pled. So, the first day or the first night I slept in there, what they do, they get you out the holding cell, and you got to go to a cell. I think it's two people to a bunk, or two people in the cell. It's a bunk up top, bunk at the bottom. And I'm trying to sleep in this thing, and I only got my muscle shirt on and my red shorts, and I'm sleeping on this pad, and this pad is plastic or some type of blue thing, like when you go into elementary and you sleeping on a blue thing, on the mats,
Now, what is it, a cot? A cot?
2 oxtail cot, I guess. But anyways, I'm sleeping, and I'm pressed up on my face. I'm trying to sleep like this, and I can smell it. I can smell it. It smelled like must, balls. It was sweat. It's old people, young niggas sweat like it's crazy. It's disgusting. I'm up in there, and I'm up in there trying to sleep, and it was just nasty, man. I never want to go back. But anyways, after that, we went back in the cell. Well, when you went out, there was like breakfast time or some shit. They started passing niggas out apple juice and orange juice with like some sandwiches and shit. The sandwiches look like they've been in the motherfucker for 2 years. No bullshit. And then they passed the nigga some grits. And it wasn't grits.
He said
it wasn't grits.
You said you didn't eat nothing for 3 days?
I didn't eat nothing for 3 days.
You drank the juice,
I drank the juice. I ate the cookies. They give you cookies. I drank the juice and ate the cookies. That was it, bro. That was it.
Hold on, pour me some in a
But check this out though. One of the things that got me, and I never wanted, that shit is crazy. They said, "Hey, look, we got the suspects that robbed some lady, but we need 2 or 3 more other people. We need you, and you." And they pointed at me, and I was like, "Man, what the fuck are you for?" I was like, "You just look like one of the niggas that would do it because you black, you young, and your hair is like that." And I was like, "Damn." Couldn't say no, you gotta go. So they took us and they put us in a lineup. And they say, before you enter in, you gotta say this line talking about, hey, give me all the money. Or it was some kind of weird, stupid shit that a nigga was saying. But anyways, we walked in and everybody stood in the line and there is a black glass. Like, no bullshit, it's the exact same way you see it. The exact same way. They say these lines, and everybody said it. I try to make my shit sound as normal as possible. And I said, give me the money. And then it was like, oh no, it's not him. And then I was like, all right, get in the line. You're going back to the cell. So everybody walked back. And then one of the black dudes is so naive, but one of the guards was playing with him. He was like, hey, look, man, if they come back, they won't you. They're going to put you in there, and they're going to give you about 20, 30 years. And he was like, man, hold up, man. I ain't do nothing. I'm just in here for once. They was like, nah, if they say so, we taking you. And he was pissed off the whole time. But other than that, my girl was calling me, and she came and showed up all 3 days.
So, let me tell y'all how it went down. So, when he got pulled over, when the cop put him in the handcuffs, y'all know I started bawling. And then the cop came over to my car, and he was laughing. He came over with a smirk on his face talking about, did you know he had warrants? I was like, no. And then I was like, well, how many does he have? And he said, oh, it's over 15. I said, what? You know, when I'm sitting up there crying or whatever, and I'm like, okay, well, where is you taking him? He didn't want to tell me anything. So they finally drove off. He took him wherever he took him. I think around that same time, then we stopped at the store and get something. I think we stopped at the store and got something for his dad that needed to be dropped off too. And it never made it to him until like towards the end of the day. I stuck around too because I was like, I want to see what they're going to do with the car. They ended up taking the car to, you know, how they get your car and whatever.
Take it to
one of the car lots or whatever. So I'm like, okay, it's in the car lot. It's in a secure place right now. After that, I was like, well, let me see if I can get in touch with some of his family members. I called his brother, called his mama to let them know what was going on. Then I called his daddy. I had to went to his daddy's house and I'm up here boo-hooing. Like, they took him and I don't know what's going to happen, yada, yada, yada. And then what time was it? Because it all happened around like at what, 1 or 2 in the afternoon? And I didn't hear from you until about 6, 7. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't even there yet. Like, that's how long, what they call it, the whole process thingy go. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't call me until about 6:30ish, close to 7 o'clock or whatever, to let me know that he finally got, like, processed in or something, or they about to go take him somewhere else. And I'm like, okay, do you know where they're taking you? As soon as I asked him that, he had to get off the phone with me. So I'm up here Google searching his name. I'm up here Google searching his name to see if he come up, to see if a mugshot come up, something, you know. But that didn't come up or nothing. So I was like, okay, let me put my thinking cap on. And I was like, let me just see all the jails that's within the area. I called a few. They said he wasn't there. So it started to get late. Ain't nobody else answering the phone no more. The next morning come, and I call another jail, and they said he was there. I got the address and everything. So you know where I was the next morning. I was down there at that jail. Where it's over there off of Quitman Street, downtown. Yeah, y'all know, right there next to the court. I was down there waiting in the parking lot. All of that. They went up in there. They asked me, did I have warrants? I was like, no, I'm just here to visit. I'm trying to make sure everything good, you know, or whatever like that. And I had to wait. I think I waited probably about 3 hours just to see him. Just to see him. I waited. I missed the work. I did a no-call, no-show. But then eventually I ended up texting my supervisor and I told her I wasn't coming in. I lied and was like, oh, I'm sick or whatever. But I stayed down there till it was visiting time, and I stayed down there until it was over. So didn't I get to see you like twice in one day? It was like twice in one day or whatever. I went to go see him and I stayed there. We didn't get to talk long, but it's the fact that I was actually out there. I stayed out there. And I'm thinking he gonna get out the next day, and they saying he had 2 more days to stay in. So I'm like, oh Lord. So I go to work. I didn't have to be to work until maybe 10ish. I was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I was still living with my parents, and I was getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, so they already knew something was a little fishy, like, Kylie. So I was up like around 6 something, and they already knew something was like a little fishy.
Oh, you shivering.
But I told them, you know, that I'm going into work early for overtime or whatever. But I was really going downtown to go see him, so I could see him twice a day. I know he didn't have his cell phone, but I was calling in, texting in, leaving voicemails, even though I knew he couldn't answer because I knew he would have got it out when he would have got out or whatever. But I went down there every single day and spent majority of the whole day down there, making it seem like I was at work, but I really wasn't. I was waiting for visiting hours to be, I was waiting for visiting hours to start, for it to be over, and then for it to start over again to where I could see him twice a day because I couldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was able to call me because I think around that time, I don't even know what carrier I was with. The calls wasn't coming through to where I was able to accept it.
You know,
or whatever.
Well, it was one of the greatest feelings, you know, to have somebody come up there and see you. Especially some of the other niggas. It was like, man, my girl ain't came to see me yet. And I was like, and it was like, yo, girl coming to see you 2-3 times out the day, nigga. We're gonna have to fuck you up. But no, thanks. But anyways, another great feeling was the release when you get out, nigga.
Oh, y'all, he ran, y'all.
Man, look, check this
He
out.
was ready.
They said, all right, Mr. Andrews, we're gonna move you to this room. And when they moved me to the room, they was like, hey, nigga, you getting out today. But don't let this shit happen again. I was like, absolutely, sir. I wouldn't getting.
And I was there at 6 o'clock in the morning again, waiting for him to come walk out.
Check this out. They moved me to another cell. I was getting moved around because I was getting out. And I was getting moved around, and it was another group of inmates. Now these niggas, they belong in jail. These niggas did some things. They did a lot of things. There's one tall ass nigga. Somebody said something, and he was like, no, it ain't going down like the way you think. We about to psych this motherfucker. So everybody started squaring up, and they was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And everybody was yelling. It was real rambunctious, and everybody started getting nervous and stuff. And I was like, hey, we gonna move you over here, man. And then I guess she got a call, or somebody, not her, but she called up there, and she said that somebody committed suicide at the jail.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me in. It was actually, you know what? It was the next day after he went in. It was the next day because I got up really early. And they was like, I couldn't visit him in the morning time. I had to come back like later on in the evening because that same day he went in, or like sometime later on that night or something, somebody had committed suicide by hanging themselves in a cell or something like that went on. So they, you know, when stuff like that happen, they don't let visitors come in.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So
that happened. But of course it wasn't me because me and that. And I was only tickets. But anyways, now they let us out. They took us down. It was me and a couple other niggas. It was this old nigga too. And we went down this long tunnel. It was a real strange, eerie tunnel. It was black, dark, very dark. And we was going down this tunnel. Everybody was walking. You can hear it. Because everybody had, some people had handcuffs. No, we didn't have any handcuffs. We was walking. Everybody was straight. We just there for warrants. And we walking down this thing, and now we end up in a white room, right? And it was like dead roaches and shit in there. And it was a door leading out to the court. And then people was getting called out. You go out and say,
Hasty.
Didn't you have to go to court like at 11 something that night?
I don't
Listen,
know.
look at her back something like that.
They was like, hey, look, releasing
Ready
you,
for
you
tomorrow?
served your time or something like that. Time served, boom. They do the little thing. They take you through the tunnel again, and then you see the light, and they say, all right, nigga, you right here. They give you all your shit back. You know, they're giving you all your papers all the time you serve and all the tickets and shit. Turn my phone on, it's bloop, 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 bloop. All the notifications coming in. I was like, damn, nigga, it feel good. I'm free. So I walk out, and they looking at me like, man, we should have locked this nigga in here. But I was only in for warrants. So I get out, and I'm like, man, I would never do this shit again in my life.
How you get warrants?
I was driving my sister's car. She had a PT Cruiser, and
Can we not go there?
you know, we should go there.
Let's not go there.
But
Anyways.
I had a first car I had was a candy red Cadillac Coupe de Ville
We
with a
not about to
peanut
go
butter
there
top.
either. She said, how do you get warrants? You can get warrants just for not paying
Those
your
on the
tickets.
side. I was riding. You
I
can
was
ask my
riding.
partners. They
If
know.
you don't pay
from
tickets
Carbondale.
you can get a warrant. You don't show up to court, you keep missing court, you can get a warrant. You can get a warrant for a lot of things. It depends. Especially when they got something to do with the
And that was my time in
police
jail,
and
man.
stuff like that. But yep, y'all, I went down there. I stayed down there all them days. Well, I didn't stay, but I was down there. You might as well say I stayed. The only time I left was when I went back home to go to sleep in my bed. You know, that was the only time. I couldn't function. I couldn't eat. I didn't have an appetite until I seen him the next day. Like, I did
Man.
not eat.
When I got out, got in that car, it was good. We drove. It was sunset. You know, I was musty in the mud. And the thing was, I had a short haircut, and I got some really good hair, but I had a short haircut, and my shit was like, it was weird, like a white dude, kind of Mexican, Hawaiian. And this black dude, the security guard, was like, man, you must be mixed with something, man. You know, he kept on asking me who my mama was and shit like that. Like he was my daddy or some shit. I was like, you're not my daddy, you know. But anyways, thanks guys for tuning in and listening to our story about the first time I ever went to jail and the last time I ever went. So remember, tell your baby, cousin, sister Tracy to like and subscribe. Deuces.
I see that you've been learning, and when I take you shopping, you spend it like you earned it, and when you popped off on your ex, he deserves